I knew it. I chose the wrong audio. Um, as you know, Sir Tarcy isn't here. How is the stream? I'm not sure if it's coming on fast. Uh, there's a lag coming on from my side. So, would you know? Let me know on in the comments below. So, let's see if I could do anything to help. Oh, Harvey. That's a name I've never seen for a long time. Hi, Harvey. I see we got Matthew and Matthew, Hans, and Allison. So all alumni so far, and one most recent alumni, I guess. Is it still lag? Would you happen to know? Let me know. Hi, Cheska. Oh, I miss you from from our classes. I hope you're okay. So let's see if how well this goes. I'm not sure if I'm coming off across smoothly. If it's still lagging, let me know. I'll end the stream right now. It might be my own computer that might not be able to handle the maybe both internet and the streaming capabilities. Hey, okay. Hi, Janea. Okay, yes. So for everyone, Sir Tarsi isn't here today with us. Um, yes, it was his birthday last on Saturday. Kasabayan ng graduation of batch 2021. Happy graduation for you guys, by the way. For Sir Tarsi, the reason why he's not here today is that he's currently busy. Uh, there's a lot going on right now. Aside from grades, uh, like me, he uh, he made the deadline of the requirements of the students on the last day. Well, not even on the last day possible. On the last day possible for the teacher to upload backlogs for third quarter. Um, Supposedly, all backlogs should have been submitted the week prior. So that was 1 week ago. Actually, it should have been 2 weeks ago to give enough time for the teacher to check, so that when it comes to the uploading of grades, that's when they will be able to upload it within the time frame given to them. So Tarsi, I guess he really wanted to help out the students. What he did was that uh, at the deadline for the teachers to upload the third quarter grades, that's when he had set the deadline for the students as well. So if by chance you're a student of Sir Tarsi that also have backlogs for third quarter, please don't wait until 12 midnight, because that's the deadline for teachers as well. I'm glad that my students were able to submit over the weekend. Supposedly it was the deadline on Friday to give enough time to upload today. Um, but I saw some students were able to upload on the weekend, which I still allowed naman. So, no one, no one's saying that the stream is lagging. So it must just be me on the tablet. Uh, I hope it's going well. So, what happened now today was that, oh my gosh, it's so hard to talk on my own. I'm glad that I'm free of my headset. Not from Sir Tarsi. uh, but I've never done a solo stream before. I've done it in classes. World history, sadly, was kind of like a lecture more than a discussion, which was very, 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 very sad, because I remember world history was mostly class activities for us back then. Um, Soxai 4 always had interaction, even during this distance learning. That's why it didn't feel that alone. But here, at least, I get to see your chat. So it's kind of like my Soxai 4 classes. I think I can handle. So, medyo malaki yung utang ko kay Sir Tarsi dahil last week, if you remember, he did a solo stream as well. That was him. That was him conducting the stream alone because, like at the last 30 minutes, I backed out because I wasn't feeling too well. So he had to continue the stream on his own. In fairness, he was able to last for a whole hour. For me, let's see if he can last around, let's say, 45 minutes, an hour. I don't know, depending on what we would discuss. Um, Sir Tarcy gave several discussion topics for us to talk about. Something that I believe are kind of important, which I hope that maybe would be better if we were both together discussing it. So instead, he suggested why not make a stream about how I could answer any questions by the from our viewers. Anything that I can help you with, I'm here to guide you for the next, let's see, for the next 30 minutes, 45 minutes. A little bit something about recently. It's so hot, but I'm so glad it finally rained. Like this is my first time getting to experience rain here in our place. So hopefully the cool winds will be able to reach us. Last night I was having I was playing a tabletop game with some of my old friends, my college friends, and I was so jealous of them because it started raining in their places. Well, of course, they started losing their internet connections. But to see them suddenly that they were so yung presko na sila because of the cool wind that the rains brought. I was so it was so unfair, and I was the GM yesterday, so my throat was very dry and sore. So if you might notice the eye bags, if I do have, I just came from a uh, Star Wars tabletop role playing game last night. It started around 5 p.m. It lasted at 3 a.m. with two breaks of 30 minutes. So it's that wild. If you already have a problem with me speaking for an hour in our classes, what more can you imagine? Like almost 12 hours of me speaking straight, describing. Uh, yeah, it was intense. It was intense because I was trying to pull out whatever Star Wars lore I can from the back of my head. I was trying to look at the rules. The hardest part was that around halfway, my my players. Okay, this is the hard part. This was the hardest part for me yesterday. Was that it was my first time ever to DM a game. Uh, that alone is pressure because I've played with several people who does Dungeons and Dragons and several other systems, and it was I'm so at awe with them how they manage to create worlds. Their voices, they can change their voice for different NPCs. They can come up with names for each and different NPC, which I still can't do. And that was something that I admire among them. That even without having visuals, they can paint a picture for you to imagine. That's something that I wish I could aspire to be, not only as a DM in the future, but also as a teacher in class, to hope that I can visualize it for the students. Now, aside from that, was being my first time being a DM. Uh, the the 4 players that I was DMing for, they're veteran DMs. Like, they're kind of known. They're actually, I do think they are kind of known here in Metro Manila because they do lease their services for DM to the public. So we don't only have a private group. We actually reach out to the public for anyone who would like to play games of D&D, and these are veteran DMs that would play for them, be their DM. So like a group of friends wants to try D&D, but no one knows how to play it. They'll call us. They'll call the group up, and then they'll lease one of our DMs for them to set the game for them. So you can imagine, I felt like I was being audited. Like every narration I would say, every check I would require them to do, every um, every voice acting I would try to do. It was so hard. So yeah, but that's something that I'll be discussing with you guys as well later on when we get Sir Tarsi back. When we talk about leaving your comfort zones. Because for me, it was a comfort zone for me to always be the player in D&D sessions. But I had always admired to see what would it be like to be the DM. And yesterday, I guess event had pushed me to try go for it. Then yeah, I did. That's why I've been quiet actually for the past week. Not only not only on YouTube, not only to my students, but also on Twitter. It's because whatever free time I get, I just finished my classes in law school, so whatever free classes I can get, I would be reading up, whatever free time I could get, I would be reading up, rereading the modules, rereading the rules and everything. uh, Promise, it's a whole different thing, and it's something that maybe you could try. I'd be happy to host the KO Star Wars, considering that I have already ran one. Funny thing though was that halfway through the modules, my players suddenly ad libbed, so they went outside the scope of the module. So uh, from 12 o'clock to 3 o'clock, I was just trying to figure out, would this lead back to the plot? Maybe not. Maybe I should just go with it. Let's see. Roll the dice and what happens. One plus point for me in that scenario was that they didn't know the system. Star Wars had a different system created by Fantasy Flight Games, and that was my edge over them. They couldn't rules lawyer me because they don't know the rules. So they kind of believe me, I guess. I hope. They said they enjoyed. So that's why I'm kind of out of it right now. Lack of sleep, I guess, but happy. Uh, something that something that I guess Sir Tarsi also wanted to say, like, whenever you feel tired, resting doesn't have to be something like sleeping all day. It can be in a form of doing things that you want, which doesn't tax your mind so much. Uh, Yesterday was certainly something that would be considered tiring. Like my mind was fried, but I feel really rested today because of what had happened yesterday. So for you guys, now that we're looking at college students, for our for our PSI students, happy summer. You're done with all your requirements for third quarter, fourth quarter. All you need to do is just wait for your grades. Your teachers will be having their scholarship committee this week. Don't no man. I I see, on the perspective of a teacher, I see the lengths that the that beside the admin, the teachers are doing in order to what I say, salvage the situation or try their best to accommodate as much as possible. The creation of swans, students with additional needs. This was something that was only conceptualized in this school year. To give extend deadlines as long as they can, like what Sir Tarsi did. Um, to have advisors that would advocate as much as they can for their. Did I lose you? Sorry. It said I got disconnected, but hey. So tell me, how are you guys? Especially our college peeps. A lot of you are here. A lot of you are going to be new college peeps as well. Um, so we have our newly graduated students that are going to join, feel what it likes to be a college student. Maybe some of our alumni here in the chat could help them out as well. Do you go straight? Do you go straight looking for your for a club? Do you go straight to looking for a study buddy? Do you go? Do you just try to figure it out for the first school year and then start going out, socializing? Uh, there are a lot of questions that I feel like could be answered by our alumni that can help you along the way. We're here. Can I relate? College is a different environment from what had happened 10 years ago. Sorry, 10 years ago when I was in law school, plus how many years ago when I was in. That was when I was in college. So it might be different. It might be a different scenario, but I'm willing to share whatever experience I had back then. Um, I'm gonna say, so the weather, right? But literally, it's the weather. Okay, so, whew, it seems like my streaming is not my rig is not capable for streaming. I keep on getting disconnected, right? So, yes, I am being audited right now. Sir Tarcy apparently is here with us. Okay, right. Sir Tarcy, why he's not here? Um, Not only that he's checking right now. Actually, he did share with us yesterday that he is kind of behind on his own requirements in college. So in his master's degree. So college, masters. That's why uh, he's so stressed out. As in, if you would see him, he's really whack. As in, super whack. So maybe send him a message. Let him know that you're there for him. Uh, he hasn't moved much on his paper, so I feel like he knows what our rest students might be going through. Like whenever he would um, ask for help from his advisor, he'd any recommendation he would that would be given to him, he'd be stumped because it might not be enough for him to figure out what he needed to do. So yeah, uh, teachers are students as well, and for Sir Tarcy, he's way behind his Rex. So and he feels bad because he gives so much leeway for his students when it comes to Rex, but I guess his teachers might not be that accommodating. um, so I guess give him a break. That's what we're trying to do. Trying to give him a break. Oh, this is my birthday gift for you. Yeah. And the reason why we didn't want to stop this stream is because we wanted to try to create this as a habit, like something that we would keep on doing and doing as long as we. Yeah, Harvey, it is internet connections. I'm so sorry about that. I, mm, I'm not sure if it's on my side. I'm not sure if it's because my laptop is trying to handle both streaming, uh, the also the camera that I have is connected wirelessly, uh, handling OBS at the same time. So sad. Please upgrade my equipment. I really want to play things that I can stream, but we'll see. But there, we just wanted to let you know that we're still here for you. No matter how busy Sir Tarcy is, no matter how busy I am, no matter how busy Sir Nathan might be. I'm not sure if he's here with us right now. I think he knows that there's no stream. We're here for you. That's why we had hoped to open this stream up to let's say 9:30, 1 hour, uh, to help talk about whatever you'd like to talk about. Maybe from my perspective, Sir Tarcy's perspective was one thing last week. My perspective might be a little bit more different. Okay, it's very different from what he thinks. Oh, he's here. Oh my gosh. Sorry, Nathan. Do you like to talk politics? Now, this is one thing I feel like a lot of people don't understand. People always tend to shy away from politics. Actually, I kind of wanted to make this like a politics episode, but I might be I might be red tagged or something. But the thing is, people fail to understand that politics is something that has to be natural for us. I don't want to say that we have to normalize politics, because whenever we speak, whatever action we do, it's actually politics. And this is what I always teach my Socksci students. In every action that we do, there's always an equal reaction. That's an understood quote. But it also reflects into how we live as a society. That our actions not only affect ourselves, it affects others. And again, politics had always been, how do you manage society? And I hope my Socksci 4 students are here. Uh, I hope my Socksci 4 students here still remember that politics touches everything. And no matter how much people say that let's not talk about politics here, you can't. Everything, no matter, even if you're not talking about the government, it will be related to politics. For example, okay, I'll give you a wild, wild example. Um, Yesterday, I got Eula. Okay, we're talking about Genshin Impact. I actually got Eula, but it wasn't me who got it. Now, I'm not cheating by any way. Uh, Me and my girlfriend has an agreement that whenever we would help each other when it comes to playing Genshin Impact. She hates social events on Genshin Impact. That like the wind trace, she really, 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 really doesn't like playing with other people. Uh, Whenever there are events that you can do it alone, even if the game offers that you can play with others to help you out, she wouldn't do it. She'll tank it all the way, which I admire about her. But I still find it weird that she couldn't do the social events. The wind. So what I did was that I did her wind trace event, and did collected all the rewards for her. Uh, Alternatively, I suck at the mechanical events that needs to test your knowledge on the combat system, especially how you mix the elements in the Genshin Impact. I love the story of Genshin Impact. Don't get me wrong, but when it comes to gameplay, I really suck. That's why whenever my brothers would sit in my room when I play, I feel like I'm so judged, especially when they check my artifacts. It's so whack or non-existent. So what happened yesterday, since it was the last day of the event, the recent event, I can't remember the name. That's how much I didn't try it. Uh, she did it for me, and she messaged me. She got Eula. Okay, so in relation to Genshin Impact, what would have happened had my need to have Eula so much, not because I'm a Eula simp, but more of what I hear from the news that Eula is such a player, free to play friendly, F2P, free to play friendly character, that I would so much want her. I might have ended up spending. Okay, so spending is not something that might be considered politics, but you have to understand how it affects me would later on affect society. How so? If you would have several other people like me that would be experiencing the same thing, the same need, the same want, uh, it suddenly creates a drive in society. So now you have a sudden upsurge of demand of people wanting to spend in a game. So the government might suddenly start thinking that could this be a source of, could this be an interest that we can intervene? Remember, government has to always intervene on behalf of the people for their betterment. Supposedly, okay? I'm saying supposedly. So, how does this happen? The government might intervene in the way that maybe they can tax the players. So far, if you buy BP, you might notice that we we're not yet taxed. I think Google, if you buy from Google Play, it's 499. Oh no, no. Okay, when I said Google, my tablet suddenly said, "Hey Google." Um, It's 499. What happens if the government suddenly wants to tax it in the interest of the public that we need more public expenditure and this is a possible source for us to get income? Another way, when it comes to morals, what happens when you have a lot of people suddenly start spending their hard earned money or even money that they might get from other means in order to spend on something that might not be what they might view as not relevant or not helpful for society. So it affects people. What you may be experiencing alone might not just be you alone. And the moment that you start voicing it out, it affects several other people as well. So politics really does affect everyone. What I want you to understand is that there are difference between good politics and bad politics. Good politicking and bad politicking. So Sara Duterte. Oh my gosh, I feel like I'm gonna be cancelled like this. But yeah, so it's not about normalizing politics because this is something that we actually do every day. It's more about realizing that what we do is politics. Big or small, it will always affect someone in the end. And that's my TED talk. Oh my gosh. For our for my old Socksci 4 students, maybe it's flashbacks. For my Socksci 3 students, that would be Socksci 4. That's a preview for you. But if you get me, sobrang malas nyo. Yeah, I'm just saying. Right, right, uh, right. Um, who are my previous students? Harvey wasn't. Ah, yeah, Harvey was my student in grade 10. Hans was my student in grade 10. Allison was not my student. Matthew was not. Janea was, though. So, anong malas? Oh, okay. Oh, malas. Yeah, because I feel like I give so much work to my students in Socksci 4 that they don't enjoy it anymore. Especially when we do the prisoner's dilemma. Uh, I'd have classes ending up in tears. Yeah, I was. You were my student for a week, so I hope you had enjoyed or learned something, or well dreaded and knew that buti na lang hindi mo ako nakuha teacher. But yeah, that's I guess that's my what do you call it if you're iffy about it? Uh, I just saw that word earlier today. If you're iffy about something, uh, something that just ticks you off. Oh my gosh, there's a word for that. Pet peeve. Thank you very much, Jacob. Oh, hi, Jacob. Yes, that's my pet peeve. Uh, People just don't understand that politics is very, very much ingrained in our daily lives. There was something that. Oh, right. So you can talk about a lot of stuff that touches on politics. A simple birthday meet. Yeah, that's why I wanted to talk about this was because on the news on the way home, I was listening to that the Senate president visited Sara Duterte in her home, in her place, bringing a bouquet of flowers, and everyone was asking what they talked about. But Sara Duterte herself said that we didn't talk about politics. Now, that's always a safe answer, but people have to realize that whatever you do speak about will always be about politics. And then it's not bad. You have to understand what your view is on certain people, what how the weather is especially how the weather is. You have no idea the weather can actually affect politics to the extent that the end game is climate change. When you talk about too much heat, not enough water, you're going to. That's why there's a lot of electricity. You can tie it up with electricity because a lot of people are consuming more electricity in times of heat like this. You want to also watch out for the water dams and if it reaches critical levels. And again, as simple as saying ang init talaga, you'll reach up to discussions such as far as those. The only wrong thing about when you talk about politics is that people tend to want to be right on their view of politics, and that's where a lot of heat comes from. A lot of discourse, a lot of people arguments, arguing with one another. There's always a better way when talking about politics. Is that you have to see the end goal, that there are problems that we're both understanding or trying to understand, and trying to figure out a solution for it. I'm sure you know this. It's just it needs to be said, I guess. Another thing that could be talked about in politics is that dream. Oh my gosh, if there are dream stands here, I'm gonna get cancelled. But what the heck? Sir Tarcy did say he wanted a bit of drama on this channel so that we can get subscribers. But yeah, with regards to dreams, excuse me. With regard to dreams, recent uh, what would you say confession that he didn't know that uh, okay, so for those that might not know, Dream is a Minecraft player known for his speedruns, also, but more known on for his manhunt videos that had caught a lot of attention. But a lot of the things is that there are a lot of blind followers that support him so much that they become stans. And that's a whole different discussion when we talk about stans. You have your K-pop stans. Sorry, Jacob. I think baka matamahan ka dyan. You have your dream stans. You have, and these are a little bit toxic fandoms. I just found out earlier when me and my girlfriend were discussing about certain streamers such as Saikuno. Because I've noticed Saikuno had been consistently having the top so many view viewers whenever he streams. He'd always hit 50K at an average, as opposed to his friends that are co-streamers, but like are hitting 14K, 11K, 5K, 2K. I watch a lot of Twitch recently when it comes to work and studying, because I just play it in the background, collect those bits and stuff. Anyway, going back, and then she mentioned that although Saikuno might have a big fandom as well, uh, these big fandoms might also be a source of these toxic communities. And it's something that I guess me and Sir Tarsi would want to discuss later on. That you have to, some people tend to create a whole different persona online, that they forget about their responsibility to the community when they're online. That they can say stuff that might be hurtful for others and just hide behind the persona that they are on the internet. Which is very, very scary. Yeah. Uh, Jacob says, nah, our K-pop is especially culty. Yeah, I know. Um, it's very scary, honestly. Especially when they demand you to stream every day, stream how many times a day. It's just I've seen arguments about that. But coming back, coming back to the discussion on Dream, when Dream recently confessed that he found out that apparently there was a certain thing in his logs that shows that why Ender Pearls, why he would receive more Ender Pearls in the trades, because of a certain. I'm not sure if it's a log. That's why I'm being careful in talking about this, because I don't know the full detail. I'm not making sure. What I know is what I know so far, which is admittedly it can change. But the thing is, the hate on the internet is so well. It might be a justified hate as well. No hate is justified though. But anyways, there are people that are still forgiving him, no matter how much that he, no matter how much that he actually confessed to cheating. It was a whole drama back then that he kept on saying that he didn't cheat. In this scenario, his he kind of confessed with a, but still saying it's not his fault. And everyone, all his fandoms are still defending him, and they're defending him to the tooth and nail, to the point that it's so toxic that it's a blind following. That's why be very, very, very careful. Try to, if you are a fandom of something, try to review how you are a fan. Like, how do you support it? How do you support the content? How do you support its creators? Um, how does it change you as a person, and so on and so forth. Nathan said, so Nathan said he may have cheated unintentionally, and that's the thing. He was so adamant at all those things, but that's not because that's only one thing about Dream that ticks me off. There are so many other things on how he responds to fans, on how he responds to certain issues. Mix in that he uses mental health as not necessarily as an excuse, but he tries to throw in mental health as well in the mix. So it's messy, which I hope that which creates a divide. That's the thing. Suddenly, you're either Dream Stan or anti Dream, and it creates a divide so much. And I wouldn't say that's a bad thing, because if you suddenly start being apolitical, you start not caring about these stuff. And being apolitical, or being apolitical, you start normalizing being apathetic, not caring about things. And it's so easy to say, I don't want to get into politics. I don't want to get into the drama of politics. It can easily lead towards you being apathetic about this small thing, which becomes bigger and bigger. And that's why you can see turnouts like in elections, we don't have a lot of registered voters. We don't, uh, in the student council, oh my gosh, it really hurt. Part of the student council advisor, I also hold the student electoral commission, and we had so much trouble getting students to vote. No matter how much we changed the platform, no matter how much we changed the policies, we changed the rules as much as to become accommodating as possible for the students. It was just so hard because people stopped being involved, I guess. And that could snowball into a lot of things. You might not care about elections. Whoever gets elected in student council, sige, you say you'll follow. Then whatever policy they put, you say, okay, uh, that's them. They were the ones who were elected. But that's the thing, eh. It just snowballs and snowballs, and it would affect on who you might be later on. That's why I think Pisay always make sure academic dishonesty is one of the biggest penalties that you can do inside Pisay. Is because they don't want you to lose your integrity when you get to college and when you get to a later stage in life, when you start working. Because integrity for Pisay, I guess, is one of the truth, integrity. Do you have integrity? I'm not sure. No, I'm not asking you personally. Integrity. I'm asking you as students of Pisay. Was it in one of the core values? I'm not a Pisay student. I wouldn't know. But I was part of this is discipline committee. Anyways, so much things that I had talked about. I didn't even address any of your concerns. So please let me know, what would you like me to talk about in the last 10 minutes? Yeah, I know. I also think that it's an acronym. Is it in the PISAY? The PISAY? I is integrity. I should check that out. Oh yeah. Um, Sorry for our college students, but I have to ask um, our students. What do you plan on doing for summer? It's something. Are you looking for something to do to finish that game that you've always been at the back of your mind? Uh, I kind of feel sad though. When I check Genshin Impact recently, I checked the friend list because part of the BP, not bridging program, battle pass. Sorry, part of the battle pass was that you buy two things from the Serenity teapot of your friends. I went to my girlfriend's. She didn't have stuff to sell. I went to Sir Nathan's. He didn't have stuff to sell as well. So I went to other people, and I noticed that a lot of my friends stopped playing. Ooh, so sad. I meant maybe it's something that you might get back to over the summer. Ooh, study CS language and fiddle with my plants. Probably help friends of mine expand their project. Ooh, that's nice. Probably do another Genshin study. Oh, yeah, for college, for our college students, August pa yung bakasyon nila. So sad. Although I do follow Matthew's, is it daily? The updates that you do on Twitter for your plant? Si Long Boy. It's very intense. Walang summer sa DLSU. Oh my gosh. Jacob, I feel you. I really feel you. Coming from DLSU myself, there is no such thing as summer in LaSalle. A tri-semester with in this learning and I guess your academic year will be whack considering that you're at distance learning now. I can't imagine back then also at the start of the college of law, when they were starting up, they had hoped to adopt the trimester system as well for the master's program. And it was so hard. Like in ordinary, you were supposed to finish longer, basta longer. But in LaSalle, you had to finish everything, the whole subject matter in 14 weeks. 14 weeks, including in that 14 weeks, is your finals and midterms. And it was so. Uh, but I think in LaSalle, you get to graduate earlier. If you can graduate earlier. 2 weeks between terms. Oh my gosh, I have to let you know. In law school back then, we didn't even have the 2 weeks in between. Like, we'd have finals week. We'd have enrollment at the same time of finals week. Then, right after finals week, would be the first week of the next sem. And wala pang grades ng previous sem. So, at the second week, when we receive our grades, some of us find out, oh, bumagsak pala ako. So we couldn't take this next the step up course. We had to drop that course and find a teacher to teach that previous course that we had failed in. And it was so hard. It was so hard. Like everything's happening just so fast. LaSalle, you really need time management in that area. Good luck. It is I wouldn't say inhumane. I don't know how they do it. Just roll with it, I guess. My prayers are with you, Jacob. Yun na lang. How do you have enough existence for finals in a 14-week term? You don't. You don't get to exist. That's why when you do a study date, you literally study during the date. As in, me and my girlfriend back then, hindi kami nagpapansinan for like 4 hours straight on our study date. Like we'd eat together, but while we're eating, we're just reading and discussing about the case, trying to compare notes and so on and so forth. Uh, I remember I used to drive whenever I'm stuck in traffic. I would pull out my book and then just read. um, I'd overnight at some of my friends' houses when it's finals week because they live much closer to the school and spending too much time in traffic going to school, which could have been used for studying. Uh, I would just spend my or oh yeah, there was okay, medyo nakakaya to, but I'll say it na rin. There were 24-hour coffee shops back then in nearby LaSalle. Cafe Alejandro was one of the most famous ones, and that some of the students would what they would do is that the day before the exam, they would go to that coffee shop and then just study the whole night there. Then, come exam like 1 hour before exam time, they'd leave that coffee shop and head straight to the exam. wala nang ligo, wala nang ano, yun na yun. And then when they finish the exam, saka na uuwi. I did that several times. It was so hard. And ano yun only coffee. So like for 100, if I remember correctly, it was 120 pesos or 150 pesos. You'd have only coffee for the rest of your stay there. I did something wrong. I was a noob back then. I didn't drink coffee. I didn't know how to drink coffee. So I would just keep on drinking coffee back then in order to stay awake. Come exam time, aside sa mas sumasakit na talaga yung tiyan ko, uh, I was really shaking, as in, oh, what's happening to me? Like, why am I so shaking too much? And take note, our exam is by handwriting. Like, you really have to have nice handwriting to pass the exam. I had a classmate that the professor didn't even bother checking the exam because of his bad handwriting. But he's a lawyer now. Take note. A close friend of mine. Uh, but it was really, really bad. Like, from then on, even though it's only coffee, I learned how to pace myself to the point that I might have saved more had I just bought one coffee and maybe one snack, and that's it for the rest of the night. I guess I drugged myself. It was so bad. Uh, 3 week break between term three and term one. Ah, yeah. And mm, back then during the normal time of Lasal, aside from the trisem, they would always have a summer term, and that summer term would be a 7 week program. So I used to fail accounting. I would take accounting during summer, and everything was so fast paced. Like you'd have classes every day, from morning to afternoon. I think it was morning to afternoon or the whole afternoon. Then the following day, it's a whole new lesson. Then the following, a whole new lesson. Like, oh, why do you have accounting? Oh, aren't you in science? Yeah, accounting is my bane of existence in LaSalle. I took up legal management, not knowing that it would have a lot of numbers. I failed my math subjects and my accounting subjects. Lugi-lugi talaga ako sa mga Chinese students. But yeah. Oh, I'm not scaring, by the way. I'm not scaring our newbie graduates. It's something that, despite the stress, it kind of formed me. It really prepared me for law school, prepared me for life, prepared me for work, and so on and so forth. Nung IE? Oh my gosh. Why did they add accounting in? Well, that does make sense, but I hope it wasn't like a major or anything. The faster the less you produce laborers, the better. Yeah, sadly. Also, the higher number that it can make um, passers in the uh, exams, like mechanic exam, the licensure exams, the better. But again, no worries. We're here for you. If you need how to learn how to rest, how to cope with these kinds of things, uh, you always have your Monday streams for to guide you. Sir Tarcy just isn't here right now for that, but don't worry. We'll try to keep this channel as alive as long as possible. Even though we'd have just 16 viewers, one of those viewers is me on the tablet. I guess another viewer is on my computer as well. Another viewer, Sir Nathan. But yeah, we're here for you. Okay, so it's 9:30. We don't want to keep you much more. Just wanted to check in on you, although it's mostly checking in on me. Check in on Sir Tarcy, by the way, if you can. Greet him happy birthday. Uh, it's I bet it's really hard to have a birthday in a pandemic. That's all. Uh, I know it's tough. It happens. I'm not just gonna. I don't want to say just be grateful you're still alive. Uh, that would be wrong and um, unfair for others. But I guess just try to appreciate whatever you can get. Uh, we're here for you, whatever you're going through. Okay, so with that, we'll end the stream here, and we hope to see you, both of us. Sir Nathan's always here. Don't worry about him. He's not going anywhere. But both of us, we hope to see you next week. Um, yeah, by now everyone. Yeah, Sir Tarcy, Sir Nathan's right. Everyone had a pandemic birthday by now. Sad, and everyone wants to start taking off their masks because the United States is doing it. It's just so. You have to understand the environment behind that. I meant, we are number two when it comes to the. We're top two in the vaccine program, right? In ASEAN, in terms of how many vaccines given. In terms of population, I think we're dead last. But please don't, please, future scientists or wherever you go, please always advocate for the truth. I know you can skew numbers to your favor. You have the capability for that. You have to know. You have the intellect. Pisaya High School graduates. You're in top tier schools. You do have the intellect to do those, but uh, just try to do good. Yun na lang. I know discussing data presentation, it's so bad. But it's politics as well. It's trying to boost the confidence in the vaccine program. They're trying to hope that maybe that more people are being vaccinated. Maybe other people who didn't believe in the vaccine would try to be vaccinated as well. Maybe it's the in thing. And we can't blame them because some people think like that. You can blame the education system for that, but it's there. Okay, that's a whole different topic. I would have a whole different episode for that. Maybe I should twitch my make a twitch for political discussions, but we'll see. Sir Tarcy wanted this to be something to help students. I don't think my political discussions would. It's more of an eye opener. Anyways, see you all. We'll see you all next week. Happy graduation for B 2021. Sorry we weren't there to watch. I had to go back to the province, but um, it's. I just want to say na the reason why I didn't join is because I don't like goodbyes, and I just really hope I can continue to see you like our other alumni here. It's not really a goodbye. Just see you whenever we can see you. Okay, so I'll end our stream. So goodbye, everyone. I don't have the transition effect, so I'll just whoosh and then end the stream here. Good night, everyone, and take care. Please take care always.